Hi, this is Gordon De Silva from Gordon's Night, the Digital Accountants Division here. I'm a business expert. I'm an award-winning accountant and author of a best-selling book on Amazon called Profit Propeller, and of course a speaker. And what I'd like to do today is focus on a particular problem, and the problem is one of keeping great records that gives you the information you need to run your business, making better decisions, faster decisions, taking less time, allowing you to make more money with less risk. Okay, so typically the focuses we have, the five focuses we call it, are profits, cash, effectiveness, value of your business, and growth of your business. Everything we do is focused on those five things. When we talk about this particular one, we're going to be looking at keeping good financial records to give you the information you need. The benefits are, of course, that at your fingertips, you will be able to see information that you can relate to. I don't mean pages and pages of figures. Most of my clients have no idea what these figures mean, and it's pointless me presenting them with pages and pages of numbers and profit and loss accounts and balance sheets. They're needed broken down into meaningful information that makes sense to them. So that's really where we're going to be working on. Okay, so this particular one is we're going to be talking about the financial records, and here's a key element. We've created like an infographic of how the process works and your part in it and what you get as a result. We have a processing hub, and the hub collects information from three sources. The first one is your bank. We'll even add in credit cards. And that information is pulled in automatically with your permission into our system. If we haven't got a bank feed because your bank isn't one of the groups that allows our feed to be drawn down, then we need you on a weekly basis or fortnightly basis to log into your online banking account, download a CSV or OFX file. We'll show you all about how to do that, and you just chuck that at us. You just send us an email with that data on, and that's your part done as far as your banking records are concerned. If you have an account with places like Barclays and HSBC and probably Lloyd's, we can almost certainly draw that information in. Some of them are coming on board. I think NatWest and Santander are coming on board in the next couple of months. Some of them are a bit slower off the mark than others. But that's just drawn in automatically. You don't have to worry about it at all. And every month when you look at your bank, you can maybe send us a statement just to make sure the figures are right. The second thing we have is sales. Now, there's two ways of doing sales. You can either send us the sales. You may do it on an Excel spreadsheet, or you may do it in a Word document. That's old hat a little bit, but if that's how you want to do it, by all means carry on. A much better way would be to log into the hub we give you. It's an online accounting package, and you would just create the invoice in there. It's all branded up for you. It can be set up to make it look really nice, and then through the software you can send it, you can email it, you can PDF it, you can send reminders out. There's a whole range of things that you benefit from if you do your invoices through the hub. And what that does, is, of course, is speed up your cash collection, which improves your cash flow, and that is good for every business I know of, and I'm sure it'll be good for you. And then the third part of it is the expenses. The expenses typically come in two or three different formats. There's most of them come with a PDF these days. You will get a PDF invoice from one or many of your suppliers. The other way may be credit cards. You may be spending money on credit cards. You'll have small receipts for that, which is bits of paper, and you may have large receipts, A4 sheets of paper, invoices from your suppliers as well. If those are the case, what you do to the paper ones, you just put them in an envelope and put them into a tear-proof, waterproof envelope we give you. It comes through our scanning department, it gets scanned, and it finds it into our accounting hub, which is available for you for the next 6 years if you need it. Easy to find. It's listed by supplier name, by date, by value. So if you ever want to find it, it's much easier than going to a filing cabinet or a file to find it. If, on the other hand, it's PDF, you just forward that email directly, and you can set an auto forwarding. We can show you how to do that, so that every time an email arrives from that source, it just gets auto forwarded to the hub, and that my bookkeepers then will add it into the hub so that it's available in your accounting records for the information you need. Again, the copies are available there, so easy to find. That's a critical thing, and we'll do a demo and show you how easy these invoices are to find. So your part in getting the information to us is reasonably simple once it's set up. I'm not trying to suggest that, we wave a magic wand, you just say, yes, I'd like to do this, and 4 seconds later it's done. Unfortunately, life would be lovely, and it's coming, but it's not here yet. You will need to play a part in getting us set up so that we have some routines for all these systems to get them in. Once they're in your system, then your part is probably less than 10 or 15 minutes a week to keep your records really up to date and get amazing information. Once we process the information in the little hub, there's a whole lot of whirring and whizzing that goes on in there. Typically, the main reason for doing this, unlike history where the main reason was to give Companies House the information and Inland Revenue information for your payroll and your accounting and your reports, and get them to pay to give you either fines or tax bills. That we need to do that, but that's not the main focus, is it? The main focus for all of this work should be benefiting you. You are the central reason all of this should happen. And if you're not getting the main benefit from keeping accounts, then you're really missing a bit of a trick, okay? And so what we want to do is, by doing this in this way, we want you to get the maximum value. And of course, as a byproduct now, rather than as a main focus, Companies House get their stuff and Inland Revenue get their stuff, which is fine. We handle that automatically anyway. But for you, we want to make sure that if you need help or support, we can give you support. If you need advice, we can give you advice based on real numbers, live numbers, up-to-date numbers. And of course, every month you want some management reports. You want to know who owes you money and how long for. You want to know who you owe money to. You want to know every week how much money you've got in the bank, what the balance stands at, and who you owe money to. You want to know what issues are coming up. You want to know if your margins are getting squeezed, or if your sales are dropping on a month-by-month basis. Are you following the right patterns and targets you set? These reports are available to you on demand, nearly certainly at the touch of a few clicks. You'll be able to access that. And of course, once you tell us, and once we work together to find out what reports you want and what they're going to look like, of course, we prepare them for you depending on what service you choose, on a weekly, a fortnightly, a monthly basis, or quarterly basis if you really have to. And the job's done. And come the end of the year, of course, you'll have way advance notice of what tax you owe. You'll never ever have demanding letters from the revenue and Companies House saying your stuff is late. You'll never have penalties and all the hassle and grief that byproduct of that causes. And but the main thing is, it's been easy from this end to get the information to us. It's been useful because that's going to give you quality information in your management reports. It's going to give us the ability to support you and interact with you much better, and it's going to allow us to advise you based on real data, up-to-date data. Hopefully that makes sense. So that, in essence, if I just take you back to the main purpose of this, is to take you up this ladder. The ladder is, you start off with being employed, you go to become a self-employed director, or in your own limited company, or just self-employed. You then become a director where you direct a team. You then own the business without having to do much work. You then invest in more than one business, in more than one property, in stocks and shares. That gives you a huge amount of freedom to choose what you do with your life, what you do with your day, what to do with your money. And we do that through a process of identifying what resources you've got, quantifying which ones are best worked on, and then multiplying the benefit you get from those. We call it the identify, quantify, multiply process. Really simple 3-step process, but getting your financial data up to date is a critical part of that. I'm sure that makes sense to you. So let me just ask you to pause for a moment. Just think about what we've talked about here. We've talked about keeping your bookkeeping, accounting, financial records simple through our hassle-free, hands-free bookkeeping service. And you know, what is it that's useful? Is it the fact that you don't have to do very much? Is it the fact that you know the reports are going to turn up on your desk or your email box, every week, fortnight, month, or quarter, depending on which service you choose? Is it that you're able to get support, pick up the phone and go, look, I'm having a problem with my margins. You can see they're falling. We need to fix it fast, and we don't have to wait till the end of the year. At some point after that, when we identify there's been a problem, that we've lost a whole lot of time on and it's cost you money. So, what are your takeaways from what you've heard so far? What's useful? How might you plan your affairs differently? By all means, if you want to do this yourself, we can help you with putting the package together for you and your team to run yourself. I have no problem with that. The key thing, though, is you must get up-to-date reporting. You must get up-to-date financial information. You must be able to get who owes you money and who you owe money to and what your cash flow is doing at a press of a couple of buttons. These are the critical things. Who does it is nearly beside the point. All I'm saying is we can do it for you on a hassle-free, hands-free basis. If that's useful to you, if it isn't, and you want to do it yourself because you really love bookkeeping, you love handling paper, then by all means deal with it as hobby time, but please don't use your business time to do that type of work. It is simply not worth it. You are too skillful, too valuable to your business to be doing record keeping. Did I get a bit passionate about this? I'm sorry. I am sorry about that. So that's all I have for you. If you have any thoughts or any questions, then by all means give us a call. The information, is on your screen in a couple of seconds, and I would love to work with you, help you with that. And until we speak, take care of yourself. By the way, there's a button on the right hand side for a 10-minute quick fix call. It is only 10 minutes, maybe 15 at a push. They are fast-paced, solution-based. If you have a thought on what I've discussed so far and you want an opinion on it, just click the button, book a time in. I'll be with you for that 10 minutes. Super focused, dead fast, get you moving. Take care of yourself. All the best.